Welcome to Inspired Living with Mark and Kim. Every Wednesday, Mark and Kim, along with their special guests, will explore thought-provoking topics and ideas that promote creativity, self-help, healing, happiness, and well-being to inspire you on your spiritual journey. Each week, Mark and Kim will discuss different paths to achieving a more spiritual, balanced, happy, and healthy lifestyle. Topics will elevate consciousness and range from metaphysics to the human and social experience, and all things spiritual. Welcome to an inspired community that offers support, encouragement, and new ways of thinking. Mark and Kim are tested, certified, and professional spiritual mediums, metaphysical teachers, healers, and spiritual advisors with their own individual spiritual practices in Seattle, Washington, and Los Angeles, California. You are the inspired and the inspiration.
Dare to dream, dare to explore, dare to live. This is the 100th episode of Inspired Living Radio with Mark and Kim here on OMTimes. We are taking the next hour to celebrate all of our inspired listeners all around the world. We're going to open up the phone lines and you can call in. Kim, we just got off Facebook Live. We just did our first dual broadcast. We already had people joining us on Facebook Live asking us questions. So if you've made the switch from Facebook Live here to the internet on Inspired Living Radio, thank you so much for joining us. That was a lot of fun, wasn't it, Kim?
It sure was. You know, Mark, every time we connect with our, a little bit more directly in that way with our community, it is a lot of fun, and I'm just in awe with where everybody is listening in from. We had people from all over the country and the world, even out to South Africa.
South Africa, that was awesome.
What the time difference is. Yeah, I'm not even sure what the time difference is. It might be Thursday over there right now.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my gosh. So that was a lot of fun. And we did for those of you that are listening, we did an actual dual broadcast so you could actually see Kim and myself on Facebook Live talking to all of the inspired listeners all around the globe. And we've already got a couple questions. And again, this next hour is dedicated to you, the inspired listening community. So if you want to get a reading, if you want to just call in and just say, hey, say hi, being on this journey for the last 100 episodes, doing 2 years of this radio show and just growing and transformation along the way, talking to so many different people, amazing people that are changing the world from metaphysics to mediumship to medicine. It's just been just a wonderful journey. And of course, Kim, doing this with you all along the way the last 2 years has just been just awesome.
It sure has, Mark, and it's just such a blessing. When I look back, because as we're getting ready for the show, I was just looking back at all of the guests that we've had on that have really just spanned the board of backgrounds and experiences and different wisdom that they shared with us, each having their own unique gift that they're bringing into the world in the way that, they're inspiring people, helping people. It's really amazing, really is. Everybody has, and that's, I think, that's one thing that I think is a really beautiful thing, is that we all come into this world with our own unique gifts that we have to offer. And that's exactly, I think, what we've seen with all of the guests that have come on our show, everybody having their own unique gift and message to share with the world. And that's what we've been able to experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So we already have a caller waiting, so let's get into the show dedicated to you, the inspired listener. Kim, real quick, do you want to give our positive affirmation for the month of August and where folks can find us besides Facebook Live and here on the radio?
Yes, of course. So our inspired affirmation for the month of August is, I don't have to be anyone but myself. Who I am is enough. Period. And then we add a period after that. Who I am is enough. Mm-hmm. So it's such an important thing to remember. A lot of people, going through life feeling like they're not enough for whatever reasons. whatever background or experiences they come from, that influence how they feel of not being enough in this world. And the truth is, who you are in this very moment is enough. If you'd like to interact with us on social media, you can find us on Facebook under Inspired Living Radio, Twitter and Instagram under Inspired for Us, Google Plus under Inspired Living with Mark and Kim. You can also listen to our podcast across all kinds of platforms. So if you missed the live show, and OMTimes is so good about putting up the podcast right away, usually within 24 hours, really. You can find the archives on OMTimes Radio, Podbean, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, marklanehart.com, and lovefirst.info.
Awesome, Kim. So again, just thank you to all of our inspired listeners all around the globe. If you want to interact with the show right now, the live call-in number here in the United States is 1-202-570-7057. If you are outside of the United States, please post your question on our closed Facebook page called Inspired Living Radio. You have to ask to join. It's a closed group and become one of our inspired listeners, and post your question there, and we'll bring it live to air. And I know we already got a question posted there. So let's get into the show, Kim. Let's dedicate our 100th episode to inspired listeners all around the globe. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey with me, Kim. It's been an honor and just one heck of a soul adventure. And I'm going to open it up with a little bit of All right. Yes, very angelic and setting that vibrational tone. So let's bring our first caller in if we can. Karen from California is calling in. Hi, Karen. Welcome to Inspired Living Radio. You are live on the air with Mark and Kim.
Congratulations, Mark and Kim, on hitting the big 100 milestone. I'm so thrilled. I'm so excited here in California, and I feel very lucky and blessed to be part of your crusade today.
Oh, thank you so
thank
much,
you.
Karen. It's so wonderful to have you. What a nice call to receive.
Yes, thank you so much. And we just, again, we wanted to dedicate this show to all of the amazing people that really, listen in every Wisdom Wednesday to us, because we don't know how many people are always listening in. We can always go back and see our podcast to see how many are downloaded and who's really popular with, the guests that we have on. But for right now, we don't know who's listening around the world. We just know we have a few people. So if you are listening and you want to call in and just say hi, please call in. Please post your question on our Facebook page. And thank you so much, Karen, for calling in and just being a part of the 100th episode of Inspired Living Radio.
Well, thank you.
And Karen, I have a question. I have a question for you. Is there anything that you would like to see us talk about on our show, or specific guests with specific backgrounds that would be helpful to you?
Helpful to me. I am semi-self-employed, removing myself from the corporate environment, but I feel a calling to my spiritual side, which has really announced itself to me in the last 6 months. So I'm new to all of this. I'm very open to all of this. And so any opportunity that I have to learn more, absolutely.
Wonderful. Okay, well, good. Good. And how exciting for you, Karen, because I did the same thing. I spent 15 years in the corporate world, in the entertainment industry, on the business end, and boy, those doors just started shutting on me. It's not where I was supposed to be anymore, and I made a full transition into this line of work, and it is a life-changing experience and an exceptionally rewarding one. So I just want to encourage you to, down your path, and I'm just very excited for you because I know all of the benefits that this path will have for you.
I'm so excited about it. I don't even know where to begin. I feel that this is the direction I'm heading, and I very much resonate with what you said with doors closing. Absolutely. And so I'm looking at opportunities to develop my skills and see where, I guess my question really is what do you guys see from me with regards to how I develop in this area. Any words of advice, any words of encouragement? Well, you've been very encouraging, and I appreciate that from you.
So I'm going to have you pick a number real quick, Karen. Pick number 1 through 4, if you would, for me. And I'll just kind of, I've got a few decks here. I'm just kind of playing around today, and let's see what the spirit world or universe has for you. The message, very direct. So number 1 through 4, please.
I'm going to go with 2 for February 2nd. That's when I was born.
February 2nd, too. And it's interesting because you picked the numerology deck. And if just real quick, just take a deep breath for me and say stop when you feel ready to say stop, and we'll see what the number is. And I'll give you a message.
Stop.
Okay. So the card that I picked for you, or the card you picked for you, is the individuality card. It's in the number 11 as well. So I don't know if the number 11 has any significance for you, but if it doesn't, please pay attention to the number 11 because it's a master number. It's a very spiritual number as you go down this path of opening and closing doors, doors that don't serve your spiritual purpose and doors that open that will serve your spiritual purpose, including mentors, teachers, radio shows like what Kim and I are doing here on Inspired Living Radio. And it's also a time to really start embracing your true, authentic self. I always talk about living authentic, and sometimes that's tough. It can be a lonely place, but it can also be one of the most happiest places that you ever go. So the individuality card for you is telling you this is a time to break free from the crowd and really find who Karen is and embrace your individuality and pay attention to the number 11 specifically.
All right.
And just for you, Karen, what I'm getting is going to be really important for you as you down your path is to feel a part of a community of, like-minded folks that are on this kind of path as well, that you can talk to openly, that you can explore what your spiritual gifts might be with. So perhaps different meetup groups out there where your interests lie, and you can learn from other people. You can share with them. That feels like it's going to be important. Quite honestly, that was important for me, too, when I started coming to my own awareness, because it's like, well, who do you talk to about this? Not like you can call up your old girlfriends that, or maybe family members or coworkers or colleagues, they may not understand. So for you, as you continue to move down your path and as you continue to move down your path, you're going to want to feel a part of a community where you can share your experiences, ask questions, and certainly the Inspired community is a part of that, because we've got wonderful guests that come on in all different walks of life. So this is going to be a time of learning for you and learning about where you fit into the bigger picture and what it is you want this experience to be like for you. And so one of the greatest benefits, becoming spiritual and all that stuff, is connecting to yourself. That's probably one of the most important parts of your journey, is connecting at a deeper level to yourself and really getting to know who it is you are at the soul level. So that is, and that'll, we're going to break here. So if you want to stay on the line, we'll continue this when we come back. Stay with us. We'll be back in 2 minutes on Inspired Living with Mark and Kim and our 100th episode. Yay!
Woohoo!
The future of Internet radio is here. OMTimes Radio, IOM FM. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community. Are you seeking answers to life questions? Would you like to connect to a departed loved one? Are you suffering from pain, stress, or anxiety? Kimberly Thalkin is a tested, certified, and professional psychic, spiritual medium, energy healer, hypnotherapist, and the founder of Love First, where life transformations happen. Love First services support, guide, and empower individuals by connecting them to their highest potential to live a healthier, joyful, and meaningful life that's filled with purpose. All services can be done by phone, Skype, or in person in Encino, California. Please visit lovefirst.info. That's LOVEFIRST.info for more information.
Aloha, my name is Jennifer O'Neill, and I'd like to invite you to come join me every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time for my show, Spirit Chat. Spirit Chat focuses on simplifying the process of using the spiritual tools and gifts you were born with in a way that fits into your everyday life. I also teach different techniques that will help you learn how to navigate the spirit realm and empower you on your own spiritual journey. So join me this Wednesday as I guide you through the spirit world.
There are many sounds in your daily life. Ones that make you smile. Ones that help you relax. And there are some sounds that can help save lives. Wireless emergency alerts, now on many mobile devices, use a unique sound and vibration to bring you critical information about emergencies in your area. With updates from local sources you know and trust, you can be in the know wherever you are. Learn more at ready.gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
And welcome back to Inspired Living with Mark and Kim and our 100th episode today. We are so excited to be here with you and to be taking your calls and questions, to be interacting with you. We do have Karen from California who's still on the line, who is making a very bold transition from the line of work that she's been doing and delving more and more into spiritual work and understanding what that might look like for her. So, Karen, you're still there, Karen?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. So the other thing that's coming through for you on my end anyways is that individuality card that Mark pulled was really important because what this path is going to do for you is help you to build your self-confidence levels, because it does feel like that is an area of growth for you. Understanding, excuse me, your self-confidence levels, okay? And you are going to be, as you understand more and more what your own individual spiritual abilities are and how it is you're going to be able to help people with those abilities, that's even going to help contribute to increasing your confidence levels. And the wonderful thing is it's going to do that in all areas of your life. So you're on a big path of a lot of growth coming up for you. And the other thing, too, is the throat area. I'm feeling like is going to be your throat chakra, because you're going to be communicating about what your abilities are. You're going to be talking about what it is you do and how you do it, and offering your own ideas. You know, if in these social settings we're talking about spiritual communities, I feel like you're going to be a part of. That's going to be important for you. And I just see an active throat chakra. And as you vocalize more and more what your own talents are, you're going to feel better and better and better about yourself, because these are your own unique gifts that you are bringing into the world. All right, so self-confidence levels in all areas of your life are going to be increasing as a result of that. And I really want to thank you for calling in today, sharing your background, and being a part of us. Just real quickly before we say goodbye, I do see you doing some writing, too. I feel like you'll be doing a lot of writing your own thoughts down as you're on this journey, which is going to, again, it's a form of expression. So that seems to be important, an important aspect of where you're heading.
I believe everything you've said has been so on point, And I feel, and I am keeping really good notes because it's been such a unique journey. And again, I'm only 6 months into it. But some of the things I've experienced are so amazing that I have a feeling that at some point there might be a book involved.
Very good.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
definitely a possibility. So, things unfold in all kinds of unexpected ways when you go down this path, and that's the beautiful path that you're on. And we just want to,
Yeah.
encourage you to keep going and keep us up to date as to how that's coming along.
Absolutely. I appreciate both of you. I thank you both so much. And Mark, a special shout out to you. I don't know all of your story, but you are truly blessed, and we are blessed to have you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Karen. That means a lot. I really appreciate that. And remember, you're only 6 months into this journey. Take it one day at a time. It's a awesome soul adventure, and we're always here on the air to help guide and inspire. And do me one favor, Karen. Go to our interactive map and put a little pin to represent California and where you're at in California, so we can start growing our global map and see where all of our awesome, inspired listeners are all around the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys have a wonderful day, and thank you again.
All right. Take care.
Thank
Namaste.
you, Karen.
Bye.
Namaste. So, Mark, I think we did have some questions come through on the live Facebook page, which we should probably talk about, from Kathy Ivanko, who had a question about, will she meet anyone or will she remarry? Ooh, love.
Yeah, love is in the air. You want to start us off, and let me just kind of tune into, what was her name?
Kathy, and she's in Pennsylvania.
Kathy in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Okay.
Kathy, I feel like you've done a lot of healing work on yourself, and you have done a lot around your, let's see, just healing from past relationships, okay, that really, it feels like, affected you, how you felt about yourself. And I feel like you've done a lot of beautiful work to make some shifts in that area, to build up your self-esteem, how you feel about yourself. And your guidance was coming in earlier and just talking about really taking inventory of all it is that you bring to the table in a relationship, because you have a lot of value, okay, and you bring, but sometimes I feel it feels like maybe you could do more to recognize that about yourself, so that when you come into this next relationship, you have a strong understanding of that. And it's like coming into an interview prepared. You already know what your talking points are. You know how it is, your qualifications fit. And so in the same way, your guidance is saying it'd be very good for you to take your own personal inventory of what it is you bring to the table in a relationship, so that you recognize your value more and more. Because some of the experiences I feel like you were important for you to learn is just that, because I don't feel like your past partners were recognized you in those ways or appreciated you in that way, and that was because that appreciation needed to come from you first. So moving forward, I feel like your next partner is going to do that. And I feel like a very nice temperament from the gentleman that's coming into your life, as I feel like a past relationship, perhaps the last past relationship, or a history in your relationships where you're not really sure the person you're in this relationship with, how it is they're feeling, how it is they're going to respond to things. I almost see you kind of tiptoeing or walking on eggshells. And that's certainly not a very nice way to feel in a relationship, certainly not what relationships are supposed to be. So I do feel a change coming into this next relationship, a shift in experiences for you, where this person, I feel, his temperament is very nice, kind, softer, gentler, and you're going to feel much better about you in this dynamic. than you felt before. Okay? So it feels good because I feel like you've done work around this already. And let's see. So you asked if you were going to remarry, and that I feel like that opportunity will be open to you. But there is some stuff that needs to be looked at in terms of your own understanding of what relationships can be and how beautiful they can be. It doesn't have to be tumultuous or difficult, or it can be a nice experience. So I do see a positive relationship coming up for you. Moving into marriage, I feel like will be an option for you, but I still do feel like you have to shift your perspective on what you believe marriage can be. All right, but that opportunity will be there for you. And I feel like this next relationship is coming in fairly quickly, like in the next 2 months. So anyways, I will leave you with that. And Mark, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
Yeah, I was just tuning in based on the information that you were giving, and I pulled 2 cards just to see if they would align to what you were giving, and they aligned perfectly. So Kathy in Pennsylvania, for your question, the first card that I pulled was the move card. So there's a moving energy, and the card actually shows a heart with a union or a bow tied around 2 hands. So to answer your question, yes, there is a relationship coming. I have to say that the marriage doesn't feel right for 2017 and 2018 as we move forward energetically from a numerology standpoint. But when I see this card specifically, and I pulled it right when Kim was given her reading. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to our second break. We're already halfway through the show, so stick around. We'll be back in 2 minutes as we celebrate our 100th episode of Inspired Living Radio here on OMTimes. You are the inspired and the inspiration.
The cutting edge of conscious radio. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Have you wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
One planet, 7.3 billion people, only one you. Life offers us many opportunities and learning experiences. Are you ready to explore and discover this beautiful planet, the life and energy all around us, the spiritual world, and what is unseen, along with your own personal soul adventure? Mark Lanehart, the intuitive prospector, is the spiritual connection you have been prospecting for. Internationally known as a tested and professional clairvoyant medium and spiritual advisor, Mark's work as a metaphysical teacher, medical instructor, radio show host, inspirational writer, and hiking guide are here to help you on a journey of self-discovery, healing, inspiration, education, and a whole lot of spiritual awesomeness. Dare to dream. Dare to explore. Dare to live. For more information on Mark's spiritual practice in Seattle, Washington, please visit marklanehart.com or internet search The Intuitive Prospector.
Tune in to The Practical Intuitive, Mind, Body, Spirit for the Real World with me, host Robin Fritz, Mondays at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern. I'll cover personal and business intuition, animal communication, mediumship, space clearing, past life regression, shamanic insights, energy healing, soul choice, and more, all to help you tap your own intuitive and healing skills. No ifs, ands, or buts.
America's service members and veterans are strong, forged out of bravery, sacrifice, and duty. Sometimes reaching out for help can be the most challenging and worthwhile mission of all. When you recognize something isn't right, make the call to the Veterans Crisis Line or Military Crisis Line. Dial 1-800-273-8255 and press 1.
Hey, Inspired listeners, welcome back to our 100th episode of Inspired Living Radio here on OMTimes. We are taking your live calls at 1-202-570-7057. That is the call-in line here in the United States. You can also head to our closed Facebook page, Inspired Living Radio, and post a question there. And also get on our interactive map at the very top of the page and put a little pin. Let us know where you're at in the world so we can actually visually see where all of our listeners are listening to our show every Wisdom Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So we went right to break. We're already moving halfway through the show. I want to just pick up with the reading for Kathy on the energy of what we were picking up. And based on what Kim was telling you, I pulled the card, the move card, which at that time was representing the number 7. So I don't know if, Kathy, if the number 7 has a significance for you, but to pay attention to that number. And the move energy is all about being proactive regarding the matters of the heart. So the vibration that you're giving off, the frequency that you're giving off, and if you're looking for a relationship, then actually start setting that intention. Energy follows intention. It's very, very powerful. Set that intention for the person that you want to have a relationship with. I don't see marriage right now, but I do see that the relationship is coming, which would actually, Kim had said 2 months. It could also be 7 weeks from now with the number 7. So be open, be aware to all of that energy. Be the master builder. That's the other card that I pulled for you. In the master builder card is the number 22, which is a master number, and it's all about setting firm foundations and setting your intentions for what you want. And when I mean what you want is literally making a list of exact specifics of what you want in this person and when you want them to arrive and how they should look and what they like and don't like. Be very specific and bring that into your reality by writing it down on paper is a great way to bring what's in your mind out into your reality. So great card. It's got a huge heart at the very top of it, and it shows 2 hands with a ribbon tied around it. So if you start setting that intention, Kathy, it's going to, that vibration and energy is going to come back to you based on the intention and being the master builder of what you are looking for. But again, do it daily, be disciplined in your focus, and put effort into this, and you'll see a lot come out of that as well. So thank you so much, Kathy, for that question. We love our Inspired listeners. This show is dedicated to the Inspired listener, our 100th episode. You can find us on YouTube. You can go to all of our past episodes, all 100 of them. I was just kind of scrolling through, Kim, looking at doing a kind of a flashback to, some of our very first shows that we did. I mean, we've just covered the whole gamut of topics on this radio show. It has been fantastic.
It sure has. It sure has. As you were talking about, I just want to go back to Kathy real quick. One last final touch here. It's a good one. I feel like because of all the healing work you've done, Kathy, you've broadened the way you're seeing things now. You're more expansive in your perspective. And so what that's going to do is I feel like you're going to be having some choices here. Yippee, who doesn't want choices? We like choices. And the choices are going to make you feel empowered. You're going to feel more empowered as you, move through the experience of dating and relationships. So what a nice way to conclude. Yes, we've got the heart card, we've got empowerment, we've got choices, all good things. And so I will conclude with that. Now, back to your statement, Mark, we have had, do you remember, I was thinking back to Panache Desai, our first guest. What a way to start off a new show, right?
Yeah, no, it was, in fact, I'm looking at the YouTube library. It's What is Someone's Soul Signature with Panache Desai. It was one of our first shows.
Yes, I mean, we've had we've had some guests on that have been on Super Soul Sunday, Oprah's show. We've had Mastin Kipp, who came on twice. Panache Desai was certainly on Oprah's show. We've had Dr. Barbara DeAngelis. I mean, we've had professional athletes on our show. which was the former relief pitcher for the San Francisco Giants and Dodgers, Brian Wilson. And what was so nice about that, Mark, is people are on this path of spiritual development. People you wouldn't see. I mean, who would think you might have seen him pitching a game, and not even know that this person is not just an athlete, but who is on a spiritual path too, who is looking to develop his own psyche. He's very psychic, but his own spiritual development. And I've told Mark this, but I was also working with an NFL player who was interested in the same thing, spiritual development. And I almost it's like I fall off my chair when I get these calls from these athletes that are wanting to enhance their own spiritual development, because we don't think of that. But people from all walks of life are doing it. And it is it's a beautiful thing to know, Mark, because there's a lot going on out there. We've just seen what's happened in Charlottesville, which is about an hour from me. There's a lot happening in the media, on social media, just all over the world. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, there's so much good happening too. And we see this with people in all walks of life that are heading down this path too. So we're all in this together.
And it's where do you put your focus? Where do you set your intent? And if you can always focus on the negative, or you can focus on the positivity and the light. And it's about where you put your focus on a daily basis. And just some of the guests, like you said, that we've had on the show, we've had doctors. We had a doctor from Columbia University in New York talking about the power of meditation. We had a supermodel. You remember Claudia Mason, the supermodel, finding the supermodel in you?
Yes.
We've had
Ginger Gilmore. Remember Pink Floyd,
yes.
The former wife of Dave? I think it's David Gilmour.
Pink Floyd. Yeah.
I mean, and she was sharing. I think she was sharing her artwork, and she was down a pretty spiritual path herself. So, and then of course we've had not all of them, but a lot of the UK mediums from the Arthur Findlay College coming on to just a lot of different people.
Mavis Batilla, Paul Jacobs. We have Jackie Wright coming on in October. She's scheduled to be on the show and talk about her new book. Do you remember the former ambassador to the United States that we had, Mr. Mark Irwin,
yes.
The Powers? So we've had ambassadors on,
yes.
so, musicians on. If you want to go to our Inspired Living Library on YouTube or iTunes or Podbean or SoundCloud, you can scroll through all 100 episodes of pretty much. We've had numerology with the numbers lady, Glynis McCants, who is well known.
Oh, that's right. How
we've
fun
had, like
was
you said,
that,
Mastin
huh?
Kip.
The phone lines were the phone lines were exploding with numerology, weren't they? Well, whenever we're doing readings, even when we did the angel readings, we had Shamala Allah on, and it's like it's just so much fun, so much fun. Now, Mark, I think we've got another question too that we've got.
We sure do. We've had 2 questions. Yep, we have Claire and we have Lucy both asking a question. And again, you can post your question on our Facebook page, Inspired Living Radio. Join the community. Put a little dot on our interactive map to let us know where you're at in the world. And call in if you're in the United States, 1-202-570-7057. And let's get into Claire's question here real quick. Okay. So Claire had asked, Claire in England, hi Claire, giving you an Inspired Listening shout out. One thing, Kim, I totally meant to add to the reading at the end for Kathy, her journey also just ties completely into our positive affirmation for August, which is I don't have to be anyone but myself. Who I am is enough. And when you realize who you are is enough, that same person will come into your life and embrace you for that, living authentic self that she is. So wanted to give that to you as well, Kathy, as we move into Claire's question. So Claire's question is, and I'll have you go first, Kim, and then I'll give my response as well. What do you feel, either inspired or by spirit or by card, that is the next step for me in my life and my career? And this is Claire in England.
Okay, Claire, let's see here. I'm hearing traveling, so you must have some traveling coming up around you. Either that or you will be, if you don't know it already. I'm just hearing traveling. I feel like you're going to be doing some traveling. Let's see what comes up around. What was the question, Mark? Her life's path?
Yeah, you bet. It was, let me see, I have to open it back up here. Got all these different pages because we did a Facebook Live before we went live on the air, so I had to go back to the page. Work and career based on either inspiration by spirit or by card. And I'll choose a card for you, Claire. But what's the next step for her in her life and her career?
Okay. Well, Claire, the one thing that's coming up around you is trans healing. So I am not sure where you're at with that right now, but boy, do I feel like you would be a very powerful trans healer. Now, I already know that you are a medium, and so it just feels like your mediumship abilities would translate very well with the trans side of things, and then using that for healing. And I feel like I just see them in my mind's eye right now. I'm seeing folks in spirit that are quite excited about the opportunity to work with you in this way. If you're already doing it, then deepening the work that you are already doing. If you're not doing it, I feel like you will be doing it, and it's something for you to highly consider, because I already see a team of spiritual folks in spirit that are going to be very prominent in this for you. We are going to be going into a break right now, so stay with us. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Bringing a more conscious lifestyle to your world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization. Their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle.
More than 24 million Americans have an autoimmune disorder, and that number continues to grow. I'm Sharon Saylor, and I'm one of those 24 million. To put that number in perspective, cancer affects about 9 million and heart disease up to 22 million. That's why I've brought together top experts and those thriving regardless of their diagnosis to bring you the latest, most up-to-date information. Join me, Sharon Saylor, Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, for the Autoimmune Hour on Life Interrupted Radio to find out how to live your life uninterrupted.
I am Fidel Nshambo. I was born in a city called Bukavu in the Congo. We were a loving family, and then, boom, everything that I had disappeared in a single day. People think that when you are a refugee and they resettle you to America, and all your problems are done. They don't understand that that's the beginning of everything. I was not born a refugee. I was made one.
It's time we welcome refugee families with open arms. Learn more at embracerefugees.org, brought to you by the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Inspired Living with Mark and Kim and our 100th episode, as we are taking questions from our listeners, and we are in the middle of answering questions for Claire. So let me just get back into that energy there. And I feel a doctor in spirit around you who would be working with you with trans healing. So you'd be doing multi-dimensional healing, I guess. And I just feel, Claire, you would be very powerful in this way. And there's already a team waiting to work with you here. And there's something else. Oh, okay. So the one thing that I feel like you could use some support with is prioritizing, because I feel like you have all these things you'd like to do, but then there's not as much forward movement because prioritizing becomes challenging for you is how it feels. So you might want to, think about maybe working with the coach in some way to help you identify what your priorities are and then how to best move forward towards those priorities. Because even identifying them, it feels like the first step in this, not even sure, what they might be, and then, figuring out the order in which they fall in, and then how to get from point A to point B. So there's feels like you could use some support in that way. Now, there's also some healing work that feels like should be done in the heart area, around the heart chakra as it relates to love. Okay? So just be aware of that, because that feels like something you've been bypassing or not wanting to take a greater look at in the way that you need to. That would be helpful to you, that would help propel you forward in terms of your own spiritual growth, okay? So, if a father comes up around this, but then also in terms of your own personal relationships. So, I'm just going to say that, because oftentimes for me, my guidance gives information on areas that need healing, so that you can heal what needs to be healed, bring things into balance again within yourself, so that you can move forward in a healthier way, and that there's some momentum there, so you're not feeling stuck. All right, so those are some of the things that come up for you. That come up for you. And I feel like there's going to be some more things too, but I'm going to let Mark step in right now.
All right, let me add to that. So just based on the energy, just tuning in, and I'm working from the card set today. So I'm working from a Oracle deck for you, Claire. And the card, I actually pulled two cards. I pulled an Oracle deck card and I pulled a numerology card just to see what's coming up and where you're at. And the first card that I pulled for you today was the base chakra card. We also call that the root chakra. So anytime I see this come up for somebody, it's really based on, it's that energy center that's, it's situated down at the base of the spine, and it is really related to all of your earthly issues. So survival, physical body issues of money, safety, shelter, everything that is about survival and on the earthly plane. So when the base or root chakra comes up, it's saying to pay attention to the adrenal glands. Kim had just talked a little bit about health as well, matters of the heart, and just paying attention to how you're feeling and getting good meditations and grounding, getting out into nature. I just wrote my article this newsletter this month talking about we can learn a lot by doing nothing. And we're such busy, going, thinking about what's in the future or thinking about, what's in the past and carrying that life sentence with us of the past, when we can just set that down, let it go and be free. And we can learn a lot by actually doing nothing. So that's what I'm picking up energetically. And the number that came up on the other card that I pulled from the numerology deck, no kidding, Claire, is the timeout card. So you're in timeout. We're going to have to put you in timeout because the universe is saying that this is an important time to really go within, find some rest, take a vacation, because there are some matters of the heart and some big changes that have taken place within your life, your spiritual path. And pay attention to the number 37 or the number 9. Those numbers are coming up strong around, and if you pay attention to those, it could be on the 9th of the month of next month, 9th of September. That could be a big day for you. But pay attention to those because they'll pop up for the next few weeks. 37 and the number 9. And it's just a reminder to take a time out. Even if it's a staycation, just doing nothing, you can learn a lot from. So that's the 2 cards that I pulled for you based on that. So thank you so much, Claire, for that question.
Thank you, Claire.
All right, we have one more question here. I can't believe how fast this is a fun show. It's going by too quick. We did a Facebook Live before. We'll do that again where we do a dual broadcast where it's Kim and myself doing a Facebook Live, and we'll share it on the Inspired Living Radio page. Again, if you want to call in, the number is 202-570-7057. It doesn't have to be, if you don't make it this week, that's the number that we use every single week, every Wisdom Wednesday for all of our guests. The next 2 shows that we're going to have coming up with Paul Selig and Tori Hartman are going to be maybe one of the shows that you want to call in and ask them a question, because these 2 spiritual light workers have huge followings, and so it's an opportunity to talk with them. And post your question on our Facebook page, get into our interactive map and put a little dot, let us know where you're at in the world. And we have one other question that just got posted from Lucy up in Canada, and she's asking both you and I, Kim, what do we see for her career situation, work/career situation?
Okay, Mark, I'm going to let you take this one first.
Right,
I wonder what she means by that with her career situation. See, that's why I'd like to have a little bit more information.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna go to the cards. Just see what the cards, because that's how I'm working today. And what's cool about the work that we do for Kim and I is we never know what we're gonna do. It's very it's very improv. There's no scripting or planning. So today I felt like I'd work from the different decks that I have. Sometimes if I'm doing mediumship, working from the voice of spirit. Sometimes it's inspiration. Sometimes it's writing. Sometimes it's just seeing signs out in nature. So the card that was pulled for you right from the get-go, Lucy, is the environment card. The environment card is also a number 44 number, which is a very angelic number for you. And there's a lot of green in this card. So there's a lot of healing that's going to need to take place in order. The environment that you're currently in, there has to be a lot of healing that's going to need to take place. And it's also drawing, when I pull this card for folks, the card of environment, or 44, is about awareness, to educate yourself about what's going on behind the scenes. So there's a behind the scenes energy that's taking place in your current situation, in your employment, that you're not seeing the whole picture. You're only seeing one aspect of this. And so this is a good time to get out into nature, get outside of that current environment that you're in, and get into an environment that you thoroughly enjoy, being by a river, being by the water, being out by the trees, because again, this card is indicating that the awareness of your current situation that you're in, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So just have awareness to that. And let me know, Kim, if you're picking up anything. I'm going to draw from my spiritual deck just to see what the...
Okay. Yeah. So, Lucy, when I talk to your soul see how your soul is feeling around career, I get your soul feels very tired. It feels like it's unappreciated. It feels like it's not being paid what it would like to be, what you'd like to be paid. You're not being recognized in the way you'd like to be recognized. And so it's feeling, your soul is feeling a bit discouraged, like at a standstill, not sure then what this means, or what direction you'd even like to head in. So I'm getting that right away from your soul. Now, let's see if your guidance has anything to say. Now, I feel like these experiences you're having like this are actually exactly what it is you're supposed to be experiencing, because it is playing an important role in your own growth and self-awareness and understanding. So it's purposeful. And let me see what it is you're supposed to be learning in this process.
So, Kim, real quick, while you're tuning into that.
Hold on, Mark. Let me just.
Yep.
One thing is, you don't give yourself enough credit for. You're not seeing your own value. You don't even give yourself credit where credit is due. Okay, so there's something important playing into that as well. To be aware of that, how it is you feel about yourself. I feel like you might even put yourself down or downplay what it is you do have to offer and the work it is that you do. So there's some stuff going on with that, Mark. I'll let you. I know you pulled a card.
Yeah, I was just going to say I pulled another spiritual card, and I literally pulled another 44. So the 44 is coming up big time. So I pulled 2 cards at random, coincidence, synchronistic. And it's another 44 called the Universal Benefactor. And I know that you were just talking about Lucy's soul and having a soul-to-soul connection. And the card literally says, think about the power of your soul and what it can do. If every soul believed that their wealth could feed the world, then it would happen. Wealth is everything you have when you have no money. So it's very interesting because it's about the universal benefactor and the opportunity to work as a universal benefactor, manifesting unconditional service for others. And again, Lucy, pay attention to the number 44 because the 2 cards I picked were both 44. And we're already out of time. Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Happy 100th episode, Mark.
100 episodes. So thank you so much for being a part of this journey with us. You are the inspired and the inspiration. We'll be back next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And again, this has been our 100th episode of Inspired Living Radio. Be kind, be caring, be compassionate. We'll see you next week. Namaste.